talking to?
Hold on. Derek. I'm talking to Derek. I'm Derek.
Just specify, because you have a thing in your ear right now.
From the Big Apple that never sleeps, here they are, your Edge of Wonder Zen friends Ben and Rob, live from New York.
Well, wait a minute. Wait a minute. We're not in New York. Why did it just say we're in New York?
True. We're not in New York.
I think we need a separate intro when we're on the road or
Let's
something.
just let them think we're in New York.
Wait, you gotta put the mic. You gotta make sure you have the
think
mic.
we're in New York, and then that way we won't have any repercussions for what we're doing.
I like even our thumbnail says live from New York right now. We're in good shape, everybody. We're used to going to ECETI.
Well,
Yeah.
this is our first time really doing a live like this setup.
Yeah.
So I can't even.
Basically, we're gonna have technical difficulties, and you're all gonna be a part of that process. You're welcome. Yeah. So we have some awesome things to show you guys. Actually, as soon as Ben and I got here last night, we met James. We went out into the field, and I saw the craziest UFO activity I've ever seen in my life. The power-ups that some of these craft were doing, like there was no explanation for them. It was like they were as bright as like lightning bolts. I've never seen anything like that. I mean, you saw these things, right? Like, what were your thoughts when you guys were looking at those?
Right.
Go ahead.
You know, well, we filmed it, so
Yeah.
it's on film, and it was whiting out the screen. Some of it, you know, you'd look it through the night vision, you go, "Oh my God!" And the whole thing, boom, you know.
Right.
And what's really interesting, if you're sensitive, you feel it.
That's true.
You feel the connection, the pulse, and everything else. So I think that's the most important.
Yeah, they
Parts.
really were like pops. Like when
Yeah.
you'd see the light, you'd feel it, you know?
And there's no curiosity to it. It just would go boom, and then nothing would happen. And there would go boom, boom, or something. It was like there
Yeah,
was no.
It was totally random.
No, it's not. It was not a strobe.
Yeah.
No running lights, no plane. Nothing.
Well, it was just so funny because we arrived. It was just getting dark, like
Yeah.
right when we got here, and then we just kind of put our stuff away and we came outside. You guys were already there was just a few people out, and then right away we just sat down, just started seeing it. And like right away you were like, "Dude, I just saw the craziest thing in the sky," and he's like, "You said that's like the craziest thing that you've ever seen,"
Yeah.
right? And it was like it just happened as
And the
soon as we
mountain was
got there.
popping too. The
The
mountain,
mountain.
there's beautiful green lights popping on the mountain, and so it's quite a show on every level.
And we actually got some footage that
Yeah.
we'll be showing from you, and then also some stuff that we got because we finally got a night vision camera
Yeah.
to use.
Yeah.
So we're just super excited about that. But James, before we get into all of that, what's going on with you?
Yeah.
Like, we just came on your show
Yeah.
last week.
Yeah.
And we had a really awesome talk about some really deep stuff. There's a lot happening right now in the world that we were kind of talking about. Anything on your mind, like right away, that you want to make sure that you get out?
I think, it's so important right now for people to practice loving detachment and not getting caught up in all the dramas, because the Schumann resonance is off the scale. It's widening out. There's huge gamma ray bursts hitting the planet. There's all this magnetic fluctuations going on, and it's Stanford research. When they did that with monkeys and exposed them to fluctuations in the magnetic fields, they exhibited behavior from comatose to self-mutilation. So we don't have to behave like monkeys through this. We can be awake and be aware and watch, what's happening on. Check out the Schumann resonance. See if there's a big solar flare, a gamma ray burst, and we can know what's pushing our buttons and triggering. But with all this energy coming in, it's like energy in, garbage up. And, and it's up for everybody. And so anything that was swept under the rug, anything that was been ignored, everything is up. You can't get away anymore from it.
No escape.
No escape.
Yeah, resistance is futile. It's coming.
You can run, but you can't hide from yourself.
And we actually have our own mics now, thanks to your team helping us out.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. And we actually have this is our first live where we actually have like a live audience too, even though
All right.
We have Rachel Ferris here. And actually, you guys in the back, if you wanted to come forward, I don't know if you.
Yeah, you can sit up here.
You're
if you
more than
want.
welcome to.
I love the
So-
big coolers back there that's pulling off the whole building.
Yeah,
But
this has been great.
Yeah,
already.
yeah, it's been interesting. But I mean, that's the main thing right now. All these separation games are being played out, and here at ECETI, we're colorblind. We don't care. We look at more character, and make sure people follow universal law. And I think that's so important right now because all the separation game, the division game, and I said something before that sounds very judgmental, but it's really true though. The bottom line is there's a lot of people, unfortunately, that have been totally socially engineered, and they're critically thinking impaired. They're not using critical thinking.
Critically thinking.
Yeah, and I, and a lot of people refer to them as useful idiots, which I don't want to say that, but
You just did.
yeah, but they're participating in their own demise. It's like, it's like they're participating. The Take Down America program that's underway right now is being financed on a very high level, and these people are participating in their own demise. And the only way out of this is that we all need to unify and work together and drop the separation game, and then it's game over. It's all this nonsense is going to come to an end.
Well, and that line of thinking really doesn't make sense because it's like, why would you want everything to fail or get destroyed or for there to be a quote unquote revolution? I mean, all that can lead to is chaos, and like everyone will get affected. Like any comfort you have in your life is basically gone and thrown out the window. Any freedoms you enjoyed is gone. So why don't you instead do something positive and try to make things like work and unify, like you said, rather than everybody going against one another, which is just what the cabal wants, right?
Yeah, solutions.
Exactly.
And I tell people, okay, so let's say you're successful, you take everything down, you flip your switch, your power's not on. You can't even flush your toilet because that's not being pumped anywhere. That's all backing up. Your freezer's dead. All your food's spoiled. You turn your gas on and that's not going. So you can't even cook whatever you got left. And then say, okay, well, I'll just drive to the store and get some gas. Well, gas pumps aren't working.
Well, you just created the Soviet Union again.
Yeah,
so
you just burned down the 7-Eleven.
Right.
So that's not available either. And it's just like, where's thinking this thing through?
Yeah.
Where does your food come from? We need infrastructure. We need some infrastructure, and there needs to be, some protection. Needs to be, the law, the letter of the law, although that needs to be altered a bit. But I mean, you do need the law. You need, there are basic things that are necessary for a healthy society and environment, and you throw everything out the window. Yeah, you've got road warriors.
Yeah, precisely. Like it took thousands of years for men to even become civilized. If you throw civilization away, you're left with what? You're a caveman again. Why are you doing that to yourself? I mean, just think it through.
Well, and look at the women's rights too. You go back to caveman days. You get smacked over the head and dragged by your hair into the cave.
Yeah, let's not go back to that.
Let's not do that.
No,
it's like let's skip that program.
Seriously,
man. But yeah, I mean, on another note, though, there's such. I was telling Ben and Rob the other day. I said, all these things are happening, and we're not even part of it. We're out in the middle. Of nowhere.
ECETI.
Yeah, ECETI. Like, they're closing this down, closing that down, and all these people in fear, and everybody wearing masks, which are pretty deadly. I keep wearing them for a while. That's a whole story in itself. But 4 minutes, you're in critical oxygen level, and then your immune system's compromised and everything else. So that's what masks are giving us. But I can go into that over and over again. We're giving all the power away to these psychopaths that are bought and paid by the same guys that are trying to take down America. So, people need to stand up. Kudos to the local sheriff here. He's
yeah, I heard he was
a badass.
Really awesome.
Yeah. He just said, hey, I'm enforcing the Constitution, period. I don't work for anybody else. I work for the people. And so all the sheriffs need to do that, need to come forward. And they're elected officials. They're the highest law, of the land, and according to, all law. But basically, it's the people need to stand up. The sheriffs aren't supposed to fix everything either. The people need to do it. So it's going to be, I really, my solace comes from, I know how this ends, there's so much energy coming into the planet, and it's a great accelerator, and it amplifies and accelerates everything. And those who are on the downward spiral are going to fast track to their total demise, basically. Those are on the upward spiral that are focusing on, universal peace and brother sister love and individual freedom and prosperity for everybody. Those who want to work in unity and find solutions are going to thrive. Yeah. And that's what I see. And the energy behind that is so powerful that the dark arts don't really stand a chance. It doesn't mean they won't create chaos on the way out, but.
And, coming to this place, you guys at home, you can feel it here. Oh, yeah. The energy here that's surging through this place. It's like you're plugged into a battery. I don't know how else to explain it.
Yeah, I mean, we're still jet lagged. We just got here, we didn't really get much sleep.
I woke up and I was like, what?
Yeah, and it's like, it's just been great though,
It's like a blessing and a curse.
Yeah. No.
The blessing is you get all blissed out, you feel this wonderful energy. The curse is it brings all your crap up.
That is true.
Yeah, the veil is thin here.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah, so it's good. And if you want to heal and you really want to go forward and evolve, this is a place to go. But if you want to stay in denial, it's probably not the place for you.
Completely, because when you're here, it's like your energy really projects on the outside, and you can very easily affect everything around you. So if someone's here or there's a lot of negative energy, it's like everyone's here. It amplifies it. You can really feel it here. It's such. Yeah, I love being here because it's very rare that I feel this kind of energy that I feel here, and it's pretty amazing too that the standard and strictness that you have, like you can't, no drugs or alcohol, you're really set on that because the energy is so, you can feel it. That's what we're talking about. You want to keep that pure energy here, right?
Yeah, definitely. And, it's kind of like people go, they get really upset because we say no drugs, no alcohol and things like that, but you get high on a kite here anyway.
You do. You don't
need the drugs. And I tell people there's spiritual practices you can do where you can go far beyond any drug. And that's what we encourage. And some drugs, unfortunately, open doors, or they open windows for other entities to come in. And then we have to clean that up, and so it creates more work, more chaos and everything else when people do the drugs, alcohol, whatever. So we just say, look, on the whole, we're just going to put a niche on it. But also too, having that, the locals here, they respect that. They're glad because there's all these rumors that we're a bunch of drugged out hippies, and we're seeing things in the sky because we got some really good drugs. But that's so far from the truth because
completely.
Not to be graphic, but I'll pee in a bottle anytime if people want to do a drug test. I have nothing in my system.
And even if you don't want to do a drug test, it's gonna pee in a bottle anyway.
There are times you can't get to the bathroom.
That's hilarious. Well, and it's actually really pretty warm. It's really hot right now, and we just opened up this room. That's why we're all kind of like sweating up here and wearing shorts.
yeah, it's a cooker today. It's going to cool down though in the next couple of days. But we've had the hottest weather we've had like all year, just the past couple of days.
Last night it was pretty nice. Cooled down a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, but it was still like perfect room temperature when we first got out there, and then it gradually got a little cooler. It was really nice.
Yeah. We have a pond and a river here, so you can always jump in.
And you can really hear the river at night.
Oh my gosh,
just rushing.
So just looking at some of the comments, that's what I'm looking at, you guys. People are asking about MUFON. You heard about that, right? We kind of talked about that. But what's your take on this?
Wow,
so real quick, if you guys don't know, we talked about it already, but the CEO of MUFON was arrested on child pedophilia.
It was pedophilia charges.
Yeah, I think he just had, that's what the charges were, he had it. So I don't know unless he might have sexual assaulted someone. I don't remember exactly, but anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But basically what's happening with MUFON, before MUFON was the government's unpaid people, You know,
Exactly.
There was an extension and of that, and so it was highly controlled and highly manipulated. And there are forces and powers that be, and they for years they've shut down anything spiritual, anything that engages the higher conscious and energy aspect of this. And so I haven't been on their best friend list, I would say, for quite some time, because I've kind of called them out on it. I go, you guys are working on a drop in the sea of consciousness right now with your intellects, and it's so much bigger. There's so much more going on. And, like Mary Rodwell and all these other people are saying, hey, look, why aren't you interviewing the contactees and the children?
Exactly.
And they know what's going on. And so, trying to keep it nuts and bolts in science is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. And so that's kind of collapsed in on them. Everybody's evolved beyond that. And they want to know, they don't want to know that, okay, a story, a 50, 70-year-old story that happened. They're tired of those same stories, and they're saying, okay, we know they're here. Who are they? Why are they here? Have they been here before? And those are the questions that need to be answered. And what's the agenda? And they have different groups here with different agendas, and we should understand that. And we have a saying, just because you're dead doesn't mean you're enlightened. And just because you're an ET doesn't mean you're benevolent. So we teach people how to heal unseen negative influences and maintain your self-authority, which is really important. But without those tools, and you go into these fields, you can get into trouble real quick. And that's something they will not address. And it's very sad, because I do see people getting plugged in or hooked up with entities they shouldn't be working with.
Well, and I think that, like, for everybody at home, we all know that you have to listen to what a group or an organization is saying, right? And do your own research and really think through whether or not what they're doing and saying is really in line with the truth, or whether there seems to be an agenda. And if you're doing that and you're doing your homework, you're gonna see things, and then you're gonna be able to make a decision on that. And I think there's a lot of these kinds of agencies and things that are out there where, if they're pushing this kind of, or certain specific agendas that you hear as a thread through a lot. I don't want to get specific just because I don't want to talk bad about anyone, but the main thing is, a lot of these different organizations were set up by entities trying to control the narrative and trying to control the agenda and trying to make sure that you don't break out or see higher or more things. So you just have to be really,
well,
I mean,
yeah, and that's what we were talking about on our last show on Friday, is that, Bill Cooper, who wrote Behold a Pair of Horse, he was saying that MUFON was set up by the CIA specifically to monitor people that are calling in stuff. So they can start, it's like, whoa, okay, this person's making a lot of calls. So then they start watching these people. And granted, it doesn't mean that everyone in MUFON is CI and knows what's going on. It's just that some of the seems to be the people on top in the creation of it.
I kind of want to go next level with this, because you have a thing called planned opposition, and these are the guys that are going, the government this, the government that, and they keep everybody focused on government crap and the history, and they have that group, and then some are doing it as shills. They're paid to do that and create that separation game. And then you have other people that just have massive egos, and they think they're the Messiah, and they're going to bring this information out, seriously, the UFO Messiah, and trying to make a religion out of it or whatever. And then you gotta, there's so many different groups, and then people say there's time travelers, and then there's us coming back from the future, and everything's going on. It's all going on, but you have to sift through it. But right now, the whole field, we're finding out right now, and thanks to a lot of work you guys have been doing and everything else, is every field right now, it doesn't matter the political arena, the religious arena, institutions, and now the spiritual and ufology is being totally infiltrated by what we call a satanic or Luciferian influence. A lot of money is coming in, and people are selling their souls for that spotlight, that 30 minutes of fame and the cash. And we need to address that, because that's, unfortunately, it's here now, it's replete, And the people who are authentic, that do have the evidence that can prove, like we can prove over and over redundantly, they're here and there's communication going on, they're being pushed out. And so almost everybody I know is being pushed out that are authentic. They're being pushed out of ufology, and they're being attacked, incessantly attacked. And that's what's been going on. So the ones that are first and foremost on the scene, that brag about their connections with certain families and are making millions of dollars in this program, they may not be the ones you want to listen to.
Yeah.
You might want to back up and start listening to a lot of the, listen to the kids coming in now, the children, boy, they know what's going on. And some of these enlightened kids will just tell you straight up, my nephews are that way. They would, my nephews would always straight, they go, by the way, Uncle James, all the UFOs aren't saucers. They some are triangles and some are just pure energy and some are light. I'm going, yeah, okay. And I go, hey, UFOs came over.
You're like, that's
yeah,
right,
yeah.
little Billy.
Yeah, exactly.
I know.
Yeah, I go, okay, little Billy, you're going to be teaching from now on. We're giving you the staff. You can go.
Billy's got 3 hours on Saturday to speak.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, speaking, you said like triangles and UFOs. We should show some of the footage.
Oh yeah,
that
you guys
we
are gonna love
captured.
this.
So
yeah, just recent. This is just past few days.
yeah, just past few days actually. And then there's one on there that we we're kind of in the dark with what Derek is showing, so we can't really see exactly what's going on. Okay. So what we're about ready to see is one of the UFOs you captured. There's one flying, and then you'll notice another one.
Shoot through it. Yeah.
Well, it follows right behind it, and then it goes faster.
Yeah.
So we're gonna see it now.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh,
You see that coming over the
And
tree?
there was something over here that just flashed.
There's two.
Oh wow.
Let's see it again.
Guy on the south is huge. He's creeping up.
Yeah, so those lasers.
Oh, there are.
that
There's
you
two.
see Are us pointing at
There's one
them
on
to
the
let
left
everyone
side
on
of
the
it,
ground
but it's
know
really
where to
dim.
Look, because it's hard when
It's
it's
gonna
night out
flash.
and 1,000 stars in the sky. In case you guys are wondering, those aren't lightsabers.
It's
but
really
that
dim.
depends, It is sometimes.
This guy's just cruising through the trees here.
And also too, we're very,
Oh, another
careful
one
on
down
how
low.
we
There's another one.
we
There's
circle
three
the
there.
objects
Yeah,
and make sure they don't
down,
have
like, down.
stroke. or
No,
running
to the
lines
left
on it.
of him.
James
He's
makes sure-
down
he makes sure to
right
point it
below
at
him and
his
to the
own eyes
left,
every
right at the
time.
tree
Make
almost.
sure they're working.
Just kidding. Don't ever do that, ever. That was a joke.
No, don't do this.
I don't know what these
We're trained
lights
for
are.
this.
These
Yeah.
bands, almost
You
like
know, and
somebody's
the
shining a
difference
flash.
with the planes,
This guy looks like
the
he's
actual
towing
planes,
something.
They all have the same flight
There's
pattern, for
something
one.
following him
Yeah,
right
they have a
behind him.
strobe
And they have a
running
strobe.
lights.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
they're obviously
Can you see
in
it?
the military have to have
Camera, I
strobes
can.
and
Yeah,
running
see it?
lights, unless they're engaging.
Oh, look, another one going the other way.
Which happens here quite a
Look,
bit.
see, one just went by him and it's
They'll
going
turn 'em off
down.
and go
See the
after
one
the
down
UFOs.
low?
Now, and some people at home might be like, well, these could be satellites, these could be
Oh,
this,
okay.
these could be that, but actually, like, satellites don't follow
All
this
right, I want to keep filming
way
this
of
one.
moving that you're seeing on the screen. Like,
Or there's all
at
kinds
the
of
very-
stuff going on up there.
like, at the least, this is an unidentified flying object. If you guys are
You see
not
it too?
Oh, this guy's
Whatever,
looking. This is
you know,
like the
you
same
believe,
track
but
right here.
the erratic movement,
Yeah.
how it moves, how it brightens and powers up, like those things don't occur in normal craft.
Which one's bigger?
How low it is in the
Yeah.
sky. And also too, we have apps on our phones. We can actually look and not tell whether it's a satellite or
Wait, wait.
station or EST or any of
There.
those. We know which one's there.
It's about 3.
Oh, here we
Okay.
go.
What? Another one?
Another one.
Yeah, another one. Oh, that's a fast one.
So I thought you were playing the next one. So okay, Derek's going to show us the play there's a triangle one that I want you to play next, Derek.
I don't know.
Yeah. This is interesting.
Yeah.
So this is the one Jay got
That's low.
Yeah,
2 weeks before we came here.
look at that.
2 weeks ago.
It's coming in right over the house.
Can't be a satellite.
You see it?
And there's audio. So
audio.
Follow it, Tom. Oh, now he's getting really light. It's gonna land.
Oh, there's 2.
He's going. Just follow it all the
Oh
way.
shoot, I lost them. Darn it.
With this way. I'm watching this guy's powering up for me. I can't leave him now. All right.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys, there's 3 ships, at least 3 coming in over the house.
Oh man.
Can somebody turn off that night vision? I mean, the spotlight over there, it's really messing it up.
That's really weird.
Yeah.
Somebody could unplug that night vision, be great.
Got him now.
Yeah, there's
And also,
3.
too, I wanted to say a lot of people.
Oh, they
that's
just
the
crossed.
satellites, and that those things are here to look for submarines and things. Well, I know the
A
NASA
bigger
people
one
worked
is on the
those
right. On the left
satellites.
side, there's
They were 3 satellites tethered together, but they kept turning upside down, and they couldn't control them, and they brought them down. So they're no longer part of the equation.
So Derek, when we're talking, you can turn down the volume of the
Video.
of the video. So the other thing about those 3 the 3 UFOs that we're seeing in a triangle shape is that those are definitely not satellites because they are traveling in a formation at the same speed. And you didn't even notice at first. You're like, here's one, and then
Yeah.
everyone's like, wait a minute, there's 3, and then there's one that comes right down over
Yeah.
it. So there's 4 right in a row.
We've gotten so many shots. The space station come over, and we film the space station, and we make it clear this is the space station, but we have ships following the space station and going right across its bow, almost moving right
So
through it.
we have the video
Yeah,
that we're
we have
talking
one of
about.
those
So
clips.
you can play the International Space Station UFO
Flyby.
flyby.
And they've been cutting the feed on NASA constantly because these ships are showing up, and they have to keep cutting the feed. And people go, "Well, it's a live feed." No, it's not. There's a delay on it, I guarantee you. But so they can, if something does get caught, they can cut it. But people they are actually getting it, which is interesting.
So what you're seeing right now is the International Space Station.
And that's with 3rd generation white phosphorus hooked into a Sony 550 camera. It's an older camera. The camera fairy hasn't showed up yet to give us some new technology, but soon we'll have it. I think it's coming up here pretty quick.
Well, actually, we're on a delay
Yeah.
watching this. So
Wow. That's crazy.
this one is nuts. So James, someone was asking if we think these are friendly ETs, and
Yeah.
what are we seeing?
Yeah. Well, here's the deal. Basically, if you're worried about ETs invading us right now, the negative ones are already here. They've been here for a long time.
That's just it.
Yeah. And so these are benevolent ones that are coming in now, and they're coming in as part of the planetary liberation that's going on. And they're tied into the white hats and Q and everything. It's all connected. And there's multi dimensions to what's happening, but you don't have to worry about what's coming in now because it's definitely benevolent. And also to the, I tell people, if you're really worried about an ET invasion, it already happened. It's called incarnation. It's
Well, I was
us.
going to say the reptilians.
Yeah, and if you're watching these videos and you're interested in these things, it's probably you're remembering. We've had other lives and other civilizations, very spiritually and technologically advanced civilizations, and we came here to bring that consciousness here. So to help with this planetary liberation, this ascension process. So I wouldn't really worry about what's coming in now because what's coming in now is part of the planetary liberation and cleanup.
So true. Well, Derek just said we want to run a trailer.
Yeah, it's time. We have 35 seconds left, but you're good, Derek.
So Derek, why don't you run a trailer? Are you running?
War, conquest, death. Most World War II historians will highlight the politics of the time, but gloss over the truth behind Hitler's quest for power. The blood-spattered trail the Nazis smeared across the globe cannot be forgotten even today. But what if details were lost in the aftermath of the manic effort to create a Third Reich? Or what if they were left out of the history books on purpose? What if the Nazis were searching for something else? Particular artifacts Hitler had researched feverishly in his darkest days. Objects so extraordinary, he believed they held the answer to world domination. Objects that had the power to change the course of history itself. These were the relics of power. One relic was most crucial to the Nazis' plans, one that brought together all the relic mysteries, but was a mystery itself.
Let us know.
Because it was missing and contained a secret map.
We're back. Are we back?
The Ghent Altarpiece.
Okay, we're back.
Okay. Sorry if you heard my voice at the end of that exciting trailer that I just ruined for you all.
So that is our Relics of Power episode.
Yeah, the Ghent Altarpiece.
Yeah.
And man, I watched the whole episode today and I was totally blown away. You guys are in for it when you go to check that out.
Yeah, I still haven't watched it yet. So I
Yeah,
need to
it was awesome. I was so happy at the end of it. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Anyway, you guys, that's coming to edgeofwonder.tv really soon. Actually, I think this Thursday. So if you haven't seen the first 2 Spear of Destiny episodes, the Ghent Altarpiece will follow, and you're going to be totally blown away by that first season of Relics of Power on edgeofwonder.tv only. So check it out.
Definitely.
Anyway, back to our conversation on UFOs.
Yeah. So why don't we play another one? Hey Derek, why don't you play the forest?
Oh yeah, the forest power,
The
mountain illuminating.
The strobing
Mount
lights
strobing,
on the yeah, that's only picked up by the night camera, right?
Yeah. Well, no, people were actually seeing it, and they said turn your camera on, so I did. And it's insane what happened there. The whole mountain range, all the way up to the mountain, started pulsing, and there's no explanation for that.
No explanation at all.
And there's the mountain lighting
it's
up.
not.
That's the door.
he's showing a different one. But this
No, I think it turns into that.
but you're saying this is the door, right?
Yeah, this is the door opening on the mountain, and ships flying in and out of that and go into space. And everybody keeps saying these are campers and things like that. That's 14 miles away.
Okay, not only is that 14 miles, imagine how big that light must be on that gigantic mountain if
Yeah.
it's that big. That is
Because-
not a camper.
Yeah. And they go into space. Campers launch themselves into space, which is I've never seen that.
Yeah,
I mean, granted, there is a trail. There are campers on there, but something like this is too
yeah,
bright. I mean, this is like the light that we're seeing on there would be like,
just massive.
yeah. I mean,
Like a mile long or
Yeah,
something.
yeah,
wide.
it's wide, and also it's an area that's totally treacherous. There's no trails where that is. There's
yeah. I
absolutely
mean, look
no
how,
trails
look how,
whatsoever.
yeah, that's just
Yeah,
crazy.
so-
and
so,
the thing is, some people are like, well, it could be a fire, but the thing is that these lights only last for like 10 seconds
Yeah,
or
then
something
they're
like
gone.
that. These are really bright lights.
And if
last for a
if
few
that was a
seconds.
fire, the entire mountain would go up in flames.
Well,
Yeah,
if that was that bright, I guess.
That's what I mean. crazy.
That's really interesting.
But what about the strobing one you were just
So
saying?
there's a strobing one. I just can't remember what I titled it for Derek.
how about strobe or
Yeah, you probably should have called it
Right,
strobe.
it says pulse or strobe on it, or mountain lighting up.
Mountain light.
I don't know.
Okay, he's pulling up a different one.
Okay.
We'll just go in order.
Yeah. We'll just,
Sorry guys, this is because there's a little disconnect. Derek's still in New York. We're in ECETI, so we're doing the best we can. I'm not sure which one this is.
that one's strobing.
Yeah, those are the power-ups that we're talking about.
Oh yeah.
But see how they're of different, like,
That.
See?
Yeah.
they don't follow the same pattern. Like, they're in and out. Some are brighter than others. You know?
Yeah, and then this one tends to it's doing that, and then it just goes dim for a while.
Yeah.
So again, this isn't a plane. One, it's going too fast to be a plane. And second of all, planes don't strobe this way,
No.
correct?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of odd how that's strobing.
Yeah.
See, there's a big time. There's no periodicity to it. It just
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
on a time strobing.
yeah,
It's just like
exactly.
sometimes it goes and then it doesn't. It's really interesting. And yep, pull up another one, Derek.
Yeah. And also too, it's really important that people come and see for themselves.
Okay, it's on.
Yeah.
It's on now. So, okay. Yeah.
Live feed. I mean, live stream with the show.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we will definitely.
Yeah. So,
That's two.
yeah,
Wow,
there's
look at
just,
that.
there's just two that go by each other. Yeah. See, there's one on the far left, and then you're following the one on the right, and then there's one. I think another one shows up. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, so you'll see it like
Wow, there went.
get really.
That was the whiteout one. Just boom.
It's very, yeah. And granted, there are satellites, and we do have satellite trackers, you know, and the satellites tend to just stay at a steady pace. They don't really blink or anything. They're just going across, and it's like, okay, that one's probably a satellite. But then, you know, there's some that go super fast that
Yeah.
we're seeing. And then, of course, there's shooting stars, but there's some that just stay, that are just going way too fast to be anything
Yes.
of
Turn,
human.
and these aren't Starlink. You know, we know exactly they
Starlink.
aren't Starlink or anything else. We see that come over. And so we're very aware of what's in the sky and what's ours and what's not.
Yeah. Derek, you want to go to the next one? Okay, this is the one that goes really pretty quickly. The cross, the one that we were talking about. Okay. What's up now?
It's speedy.
Yeah. It's just going way too fast to be a satellite
Oh yeah.
for this case. And it's definitely not an aircraft, at least a known aircraft. Look at that thing go, man. Yeah, I mean, there's been, I mean, I myself have seen so many crazy things in the sky that are very similar, you know, just like the crazy one I saw a while ago, it went from one, like literally one end of the sky to the other
Yeah.
end in a matter of seconds.
Yes.
And it's like,
Maybe not even like 1 second.
I don't even know how, like it wasn't a shooting star because it blinked,
Yeah.
and it blinked again, and then it blinked again. And it was like
So
impossible.
the Earth is like 12,000 miles. Yeah, the Earth is 12,000 miles, right? And then,
Yeah.
And so you watch and you count how it goes from horizon to horizon, and you count how many seconds, and then you do the math. And these things are going, you know, 700, 800,000 miles an hour,
At least.
and or
Yes.
more. Yeah.
We
so-
saw a few of those
Yeah,
last
we're-
night
we're-
where
yeah.
out of the corner of your eye, and then you'll look really quick and you just see this dart of something going across the sky, but way too low to be a shooting star. It's not a shooting star. And it's like last night, the one I saw was blue. It was like amazing. And it was huge. And it, like, shooting stars they just look much different, you know?
Yeah.
You just can't explain what you're seeing.
Yeah, they drop in and make a turn and then go face out.
Yeah.
And a lot look like chevrons. It looked like the chevron symbol basically in the sky.
Derek, are you? Yeah, do it. Man, I hope, dude, the mountain one didn't load.
Oh, really?
Is that what he said?
Yeah, well, because he's like, this is the last one I'm showing. So
Oh, that's yours.
this is the. No, you didn't, Derek. Okay, this is the one that we shot last night.
Mhm.
So this is actually the one I did when we just got there.
That's me pointing the laser at it.
Yeah, it's flashing back. Flashing back at you.
I was trying to be annoying, so I kept hitting it, and I was like, do
Yeah,
something.
My camera wasn't really in focus.
Yeah.
I need to work on that. All right. So there should be one more that has like a the whole mountain range
Pulsing.
is like pulsing with this light, Derek.
All right. Well, while Derek is looking for that video, ECETI is going to happen this coming weekend, right? So the
Yeah, well-
conference is this coming weekend.
Yeah, we're probably Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I think we might do some things Thursday night, or even we might do some live streaming tonight out in the field and show
Nice.
us Skywatch.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's what they were just saying.
We get the equipment together. I'm sure we will. But,
You don't have it, Derek?
Yeah, but if you go to ECETI.org and you can see if for the event, for people that can't make it to the event, we're live streaming the event. So you can watch it from your living room.
Yeah, if you're a Karen representatives at home won't let you leave your city, you can watch ECETI from the comfort of your own home. And that's going to be this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and you can get the tickets on ECETI.org, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, too, I just wanted to do green lives matter or blue lives? 'Cause some of these beans are green and some are blue, some are purplish. They're all different colors up there. you know?
Interesting.
Talking about land,
Can we like paint something on the Milky Way or something like?
yeah.
Maybe.
Milky Way lives matter.
Yeah.
Milky Wave lives
How
matter.
about slugs' lives matter? You know, 'cause they some kind of look like a slug maybe.
That's really funny. That's really funny. So yeah, so you're gonna be live streaming the whole event.
Yeah.
That's coming up. And
And the lineup is just incredible. You can go and check out the lineup, and we're covering everything from the catacombs of the Vatican to the work that you guys are doing. Got some beautiful women coming on. There's just a whole host.
yeah.
Rachel Ferris is an audience right here. She's gonna do a presentation and sing for us. And, oh, there you go. There's the lineup right there.
Oh yeah, so he's got it on there. Okay.
Yeah, so
Awesome.
great lineup. Remote viewers, John Pavanko's here. Peter's gonna Zoom from Australia because the military has shut down all the highways there and he can't get
Dude.
out. So
Australia is like nuts right now.
Yeah, it
is.
For everybody in Australia.
it's sad. Yeah, it's major lockdown there.
I mean, we did that episode on the Australian Parliament and how overrun by the cabal it was. I mean, everything that's going on there right now, I hate to say this, but it's not that surprising because it's almost like Australia has been a testing ground for all the stuff that they're going to do here.
Yeah.
And so they just the media is so messed up over there. Things are so messed up. I feel so bad for the Australian people having to deal with all of that. And their internet is still third world internet.
I went on a show there. It's like AM Australia.
Yeah.
It's their version of it. And I started talking about, she goes, why do you think they're covering up? And I said, well, they've got free energy. They've transcended war and disease, and I said, cut. It's just, and they aired it. They did air it. It's like, okay, we got to change the subject, I said, yeah, they've cured all disease. They've transcended war. They've everything. And I said, they have anti-gravity, counter-gravity, med beds, all those things that we dream of, they have, okay, cut, but they did let me say it. They just went on to a different subject.
As opposed to if you're in a interview with Chris Cuomo, where he'll just cut the feed and then say, "Oh, that sucks."
Yeah.
We lost the satellite.
Take a big
We'll try to get him back. That sucks.
Yeah. Exactly.
Speaking of all of that, kind of changing the subject from ufology here, coming into this, Q's been posting a lot recently, and it looks like, according to Q, that Flynn could possibly be the next director of the FBI.
Or he's going to serve in some capacity,
Or he's-
right? We
yeah.
assume maybe director of FBI, but we don't
Yeah.
know. We hope, because if he was the director of FBI, the reason why that's such a great thing is it would transform who the FBI goes after and actually put someone in charge on the ground level that can actually start making arrests that need to get made, as opposed to the donkeys that are in there now, which are basically doing the opposite of anything. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. I've always known he's playing a big role in all of this,
Actually-
and he would resurface,
We were just talking about
Yeah.
out there. Why don't you tell us to say what you told us about, when you were doing like a a reading even right before Q came out, right?
Yeah, so we were working with the higher dimensional beings, and I said, when is this going to end? You know,
When was this? Sorry.
Oh God, it
This
was 2 years ago almost. It was like, it was a long time ago.
Okay.
And it was before Q even came out.
Yeah, that's
Nobody
what I was
really-
getting
yeah,
to.
Nobody
So-
even knew who Q
So
was.
this was like like around
Yeah.
maybe 2017.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. Mhm.
yeah. And so what happened was they kept saying Q. You know, they would say Q, and I go, are you talking about that guy on Star Trek? That
Yeah, seriously.
you know?
He was such a jerk, that guy.
Yeah, he's gonna come and say it's gonna end, you know. And they kept saying Q, Q, and I go, this makes no. I go, you saying Kuan Yin? You know, is she coming? You know, and they wouldn't tell me, and I had to figure it out. And then all of a sudden, I see Q come on board, you know. So
And then you were like, oh.
yeah, that's who they're talking
Right.
about. So they are working the higher dimensional beings, whatever you want to call them, ascended masters, angelic beings, the spiritually and technologically advanced off-world visitors that are ancestors. They're all returning, and they are working, some knowingly and some unknowingly, with the white hats, and you know, doing this major planetary liberation. So it's a multi-dimensional movement that's happening, and they give us a heads up on a lot of stuff. You know, they tell us way ahead of time, but I don't have any reference points. They're telling me things I have no reference points for. So I'm trying to figure out Q. What the heck is a Q, you know? And then they told me who was involved in Q, which I really don't want to say, because I think some things need to play out, because you don't want to talk about it ahead of time and give us a warning. But
We
a lot
can
of
talk
people
about
know.
Flynn, right? I mean,
Yeah.
they confirmed Flynn for you, right?
Flynn, Rogers, and POTUS, basically. And a long time ago, they told us this. I didn't want to say nothing because
But Ben just,
Now
you
it's
know,
out.
decided to pull it
Well,
out of you.
we already kind of are, you know, especially Flynn.
Yeah.
We already know he's been a part of it.
you know, in a very simple and simplistic terms, you know, there's a group, you know, extremely wealthy, global elite, whatever you want to call it, and they have a plan. It's called Take Down America, and they paid off so many people and the COVID is part of it, the lockdown, the destroying the economy, the separation game between the races and the cultures and the sexes and everything. All that stuff is part of that program. And people are playing right along with it, and they're using people's emotions, and the mainstream media is out this feigned what do you call, I'm trying to, it's like they're mad, they're going, this is so bad, this is so bad. It's all an act, and it's to get everybody emotionally charged up so they can create more disaster,
Turmoil
more
and
chaos,
everything
and
else.
more. And they have a plan, and if you know the plan, it's really easy to see who's playing, whose side who's on, and who are patriots, who love America, and who want to take down America. It's very
Right.
easy. It's really simple. And so it's just common sense. Follow the money. You know,
Exactly.
you know, it's really funny. Follow the money that goes to Black Lives Matters.
Oh yeah, we've talked about that a lot.
Yeah,
You know, even
Biden, it goes right to Biden. People are angry at powerful white men, and they're totally financing one.
The guy that told them all they ain't black,
is
they have a mind of their own and want to decide and can't decide who they're going to vote for.
is getting their money.
Is getting their
that's
money.
like,
And also, it's like,
I don't even know what
dude,
to say about
okay, it's called Black Lives Matter, right? Like, if this was shouldn't that be going to Black lives in need? Like, without a doubt, right?
Yeah.
I mean, just what the heck? Just as normal human beings, you'd be like, okay, this must be an organization. But no, that organization was started by Marxists. It is a revolutionary organization. It is
Funded by Soros.
funded by Soros. Well, Antifa we know is, and Black Lives Matter is all these donations are coming in and then going to all of these, you know, democratic people like Elizabeth Warren, who can't decide whether or not she has a percentage of Cherokee Indian in her or whatever it is, you know. So
Pocahontas.
yeah, Pocahontas.
Yeah, I'm really glad that came out, you know, because it's kind of an insult to the nation.
Yeah, and you
Cherokee.
are partly Native, actually,
Yeah,
right? So
yeah.
it's like, what was even your your reaction to that when all that happened?
Well, my great grandmother was Cherokee. We have the photographs and the names, and I got my cards and everything from that situation. But and so we're Cherokee Irish basically, But to me, it's just like, but I don't play any cards.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't ask for any handouts. I don't ask for anything. I figure I give my power away. I can create whatever I want. And so I've never gotten involved in any of that. I do have a very strong connection to the earth. I love nature and universal law and things like, which is basically the nations are involved in that, and especially the old ways. But when I saw that and I looked at her history of playing those cards and getting all these funds and getting that education paid for, all these things, and then the whole thing based on a lie, how can you have somebody like that represent you? And when I look at what's unfolding right now, and I see the way these guys are behaving, is everybody lost all critical thinking or all what is wrong with this picture? I mean, it's in your face and people are still supporting these people. And I just go, these guys are leading us. Come on, it's just like we need to get, we need to get behind the people that are really, I mean, the Constitution, the Bill of Rights are very divinely inspired. And we need to get back to that.
Yeah.
And basically, and all lives matter and all colors and everything. And we all have equal rights and things. And we need to get back, although it hasn't been totally enforced that way, there has been a lot of screw ups along the way. But we need to get back to that, and everybody needs to come together. And when everybody comes together around something like that, it's over. It's game over for the controllers.
Exactly.
And people are really participating in their own demise when they keep acting out these separation games and are played on their emotional and these feigned outrage CNN guys and everything else. I mean, come on, guys. If you can't see through that, how many times have they lied to you?
Oh, they're lying, but we were watching this clip of Don Lemon the other day, basically like supporting a pedophile that had gotten charged. It's like, I really felt bad for that guy. Like, what are you talking about, dude? Do you have any humanity left? Like,
goes back as he got caught.
I saw him with his handcuffs on. Yeah, exactly.
Just
Jeez.
caught. Well,
He goes back as he might be next. I don't know.
probably,
A lot of those
they
guys,
know their time is up. And one thing we were kind of talking about on the show, something I realized is that instead of using Black Lives Matter, if we reversed it and said like racism matters, racism destroy lives, or unity brings us together or something, and focusing more on the issue, then they're no longer the victim, and that's what when you go to like something, like when women are raped or whatever, the first thing that they tell them is like, you need to overcome being the victim. And
exactly.
Because once you do that, then you control the situation. If you're always in the victim, then the people that did you harm they're always going to be up here. But it's like to rise above, you have to overcome the victim state.
Exactly.
And I feel that they
spin that state and energize it, try to get everybody separate.
I mean, from everything we know, George Soros came up with the term Black Lives Matter.
Well, remember what he said? He said clearly, he goes, first, in our plan to take down America, he goes, first, we're going to begin with the blacks because they're very easy to control and manipulate. These are his words.
Well, and then you have Margaret Sanger actually trying to eliminate the black race with her, with
Planned Parenthood.
Planned Parenthood stuff.
Yeah, and then they just turn.
She's saying it.
Yeah. I get a tear in my eye when I see people gathering together and they're patriots and things, and they're every color.
Exactly.
And I wanted to get back to that because there were Irish slaves, there were Chinese slaves. Slavery is everywhere, and if you're going to get into reparations and things like that, I mean,
then you have
both sides going.
Dude, and
it's going on right now. I mean, China is using
on.
their own people for slave labor. Then you have all the children that are being trafficked. Then you have organ harvesting that is happening in China.
Well, and this isn't just a thing that is a recent thing. There's some people who are like, oh, Egypt was great. You think Egypt didn't have slaves? Look at those pyramids, people.
Yeah.
Those pyramids did not build themselves. And I mean, I'm not talking about the big one because I think that was left over from an ancient time, but
Well, I tell you what, the way I look at it, basically, the bottom line is that if everybody got together and unified around universal law, which is brother, sisterly love, universal peace, individual freedom and prosperity for everybody, if we all unified around that and stopped all this manufactured lack going on and uneven dispersal of wealth and everything else by the tyrants and the global elite, we're working everybody right now. If we got back to that and just shame these guys into doing what's right, basically, because these guys are sitting on billions of dollars. What do you do with billions of dollars? Come on, how can you not help those less
Dude,
fortunate?
That kills me. Like,
Yeah.
when you have those same people that have all of that money go on television and are telling everyone else to donate to some cause.
Yeah.
It's like all these millionaires are telling us billionaires too, and it's like, wait a minute, you guys are the ones with all the money, and then you're bailing out all of the rioters and looters, and you're not giving anything for the people who got rioted.
Yeah, I
and
just
looted.
took my Lear jet
looted.
to the harbor, and now
Yeah.
I'm getting on my yacht. I'm gonna do a commercial for for this group.
Right.
You go,
I'll
what's
fly
wrong
my
with this
private jet fare, do this commercial for
for
this.
global warming?
Yeah,
You know?
actually,
Yeah.
it always cracks me up when I see Al Sharpton getting on a plane.
Seriously,
I'm just
that
like
guy,
a private jet.
guy
What a
is
joker.
crazy.
Yeah.
Totally.
Total clown.
Well,
Hitting the end of the hour, aren't we? I'm not sure.
So Derek's letting me know we have like a couple minutes before we're gonna
Okay.
play a trailer. But
Three.
the thing that we on our last live, which was crazy because it got taken down because they said we violated copyrights for playing the Sarah Silverman.
It was a comedy skit of Sarah Silverman and Patton Oswalt
doing that
disgusting pedophilia.
Yeah, and as
Yeah.
soon as like we ended our live, it was like, bam, you can't show this. And we even tried to cut it, and they still like wouldn't. They
Dude,
held it hostage.
the video processed for 36 hours on the back end. It usually only takes 1 or 2 max.
Yeah.
That is unheard
It
of.
was
So
crazy.
do not tell me that was just a some
we
tech issue.
all have that, the shadow banning and the censorship, all that stuff has got to go. I mean, I think it is going to go here pretty soon. Seems like it's up to be looked at.
All right, Derek, you want to run the trailer? He's not responding.
Expert in climate change. He's not a scientist. Expert in healthcare. He's not a doctor. When did we put the health of our planet and the health of humanity into the hands of Billuminati Gates? Is it too late to take our power back? Find out in this epic conclusion of Billuminati Gates, not a scientist, not a doctor, coming July 21st, only on edgeofwonder.tv.
Seriously.
We're back.
We are.
It's fast.
We're back.
Okay, we didn't get any warning. Thanks. So kind of coming back to what we're talking to in our live video and everything, one of the things that we really brought up was organ harvesting, Falun Gong practitioners. And why I'm bringing it up now is because yesterday was actually, I don't want to say the anniversary, but it was the 21st
year.
Year of being persecuted in China. And again, it just goes along with that. Like, there was even an article that we found that was NBC, actually. It was a fairly decent article. They were talking about it's $1 billion industry in China.
Organ harvesting.
And through Falun Gong practitioners, underground Christians, and other minority ethnic groups and stuff. But it's like, there are millions and millions of Chinese people dying a year. And there's, Epic Times did a really amazing investigations with this, but there was a book called The Bloody Harvest that we actually used covering our organ harvesting series. And this book was used in the Wayfair incident. Somebody found this book on one of the shelves. Photoshopped even. And then when you went on Amazon, there was a third party selling this book for like $900. And then the number, it's not the ISBN number for the book, but it was a number that was listed under the thing. When I looked that up on the index,
The cabinets, they go to a
it
cabinet.
was like, well, it was all like all weird stuff, like weird stuff.
The child trafficking is a trillion, I don't know how
Yeah.
many $1 trillion business
Yeah.
too.
It's the number one, unofficially, it's the
Yeah.
number one industry that makes the most money.
And that's
in
what
the
we
world.
need to gather our energies around, because that's what in meditation, Mary would come to me and tell me that. She said that the child trafficking is what's going to take them down, and the pedophilia. That's
So
that's what's going to
This,
take them
I had
down.
an awesome experience. I shared this on Twitter, but I had an awesome experience when I was coming to ECETI. So I get in my Uber, right? And the guy, his name's Mamadou, really cool dude. He's just listening to some DJ from Queens, New York, talking about all kinds of, about how Donald Trump is the root of all evil, how he's responsible for every single problem America has right now. And he's going off and off and off. And I'm watching this poor cab driver, Uber driver listening to this. And I let it go on for a while. And I'm like, should I say anything? And finally I leaned forward and I was like, bro, this guy's super brainwashed, like super brainwashed. And he's like, yeah. He's like, tell me, what do you think about that? You wanted to know, right? And so I kind of explained why he's brainwashed, about some of the issues he's talking about, how it's not who's behind stuff like Soros and all of these people. And then the DJ goes, hey, we're going to start taking calls now about Kanye West. We want Kanye to know that, we back him up. He should, blah, 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 this, whatever. So I think it was like the first or the second call. Somebody calls in and he's like, what are you guys talking? Now this is a black guy that calls in, okay? And he's like, you could tell, like, just the way that he was, white guys don't have that kind of accent, okay? Now, you could say I'm being racist by saying that, but I don't think I am. Like, you could tell, it was a black radio show.
Also, having a white person calling would be it's harder for a white person to like be so direct with something like that.
No,
right?
and right.
Yeah.
So he calls in and he's just like, what are you guys talking about Black Lives Matter right now on here? Like, what you're talking about. Have you guys gone and looked into the human trafficking problem that everybody's having? Have you looked into Pizzagate? Have you been on qmap.pub? You need to go to qmap.pub right now and check out about this human trafficking problem we're having. You people are blind. And he just kept going off. And I just literally, I'm like, listen to this, because I'm just talking to the Uber driver about this, right? And I was just like this.
I love it.
And I smiled and I was just like, just listen to this guy right now. And I was like, this is it. We're at a stage now where not only are we up here telling people about what's going on, but other people are listening to this crap too, and they're not taking it anymore. They're calling up, they're clarifying the truth about what's going on, and it's leaving no room for this stuff to go on. And that's hope right there. If you guys think nothing's happening, because when a lot of people are waking up like that, and even those super liberal, DJs and stuff that are out there that are brainwashed are getting information like this, they're going to have to start looking. There's no room anymore.
Well, also, there's an experience I just had, and I was trying to find her before we went live because I'm sorry, I forgot her name. But she came up to me and she just says, I want to thank you so much for what you guys are doing, because you completely changed my entire family life. And I was like, what do you mean? And she said that she kind of grew up with an abusive dad, and he doesn't believe in anything at all or anything. And she forced him to watch our show. And he believes in everything now. He believes in reincarnation. He all of a sudden became really spiritual and just started really accepting
That's amazing.
a lot of things. And she said it changed her entire family life now. She said, she always had a rough relationship with her father, and it just, she was in tears when she was telling me this.
Truth does that.
I just couldn't even believe it.
I think, and that's what has to happen.
Yeah.
That everybody's going to have to come together here and focus on what's real, what's true, and pull the curtain away. It's going to hurt. The Band-Aid's going to have to get ripped off, and really look at what's going down and get behind the things that are really important, and the suffering, and especially the children and what's happening to children. That's got to come to an end, and it will. And that's what I see. That's the takedown. Yeah, that's the takedown. That's going to happen is what they're doing to children. That's going to take them down.
Yeah. Symbol will be their downfall. Symbolism will be their downfall.
Exactly.
Well, and this whole thing, what we're finding, I mean, again, going back to the Wayfair thing, I think that the Wayfair thing is really just the tip of the iceberg for what is going to come out, and what would even we realized when we were doing the pizza fence aspect of it, we realized that Instagram was actually being used for these pedo people to communicate and share information, share photos, and all of it. And it's so out in the open. And now we're finding Twitter is being used in the same way. But
Yeah.
Twitter is like this weird battlefield because everyone's connected through hashtags. So Twitter's kind of in this weird thing, and then this like so-called hack happened, and and it's like, you know, I think they're trying to say, oh, Twitter's not safe, so everyone needs to get off Twitter. Like hopefully that all the Trump people will leave Twitter.
Yeah, right.
But it's like
It's ground zero right now.
it's totally ground.
Also,
zero.
you know, we were just talking about symbolism for a second. I don't think people really understand. Like one of the cabal's biggest weakness is that they are required to show this symbolism in the things that they're doing, because there has to be a part of it that is sent out there with the things that they're doing in order for the ritual or the kind of magic that they do to be legitimate. If they don't tell you, if there isn't symbolism in these movies, if there isn't symbolism in, you know, their backgrounds or on these images that they show on Wayfair, they actually can't do it and derive the energy from it that they feel like they need. This is the way, by the way, this is what they believe, not necessarily what we believe. So symbolism really will be their downfall, because there's no way they can keep operating without showing the things that they're doing. And now we're looking for those things actively, and we're going to find it and shut it down every step of the way. And that's what we have been doing.
Yeah, definitely. It's well, I mean, you look at all the major, the top of the level business institutions, religious institutions, everything.
Yeah.
Look at their garments and look at their
Right.
hats and look, it's all over.
Yes.
It's all, you just go, my God,
I
what's
know.
that guy, you know, what's that little pyramid thing there for, you know?
Yeah.
And it's on candy bars and popsicles, and it's
Yeah.
all over Australia. You know?
Yeah,
And
yeah, it
everyone's
is.
Going, what? You know, it's like
What-
everywhere.
dude, it was that what
Remember
was
that?
the name of that bar? It was like something gay time.
Yeah, yeah.
It was like,
yeah.
and then it had the spiral, and it was
Yeah,
like, what
exactly,
the
yeah.
heck?
yeah,
It's everywhere.
code
Yeah.
Yeah.
thing. You know, some people don't realize we're live on the chat.
Oh yeah, we're live, guys.
So,
We are live.
just letting you know we are live. So a couple of people were asking about our understanding what's going on with Maxwell, what we think is going on with Maxwell. Do you want to start, James?
Well, you know, I don't know. There's so many twists and turns and all this stuff.
It
that-
sure is.
I mean, just catching her, brought it all mainstream, brought it all in your face again about what's going on. And I really think she was more of a player than Epstein was. And
That's
her
what we're
dad-
finding out. Yeah.
Her dad was heavily involved and tied into the Mossad. It's all unfolding now. And there's so many people that have been caught, so many politicians, actors, famous people that
Yeah.
all been caught up in this big net. And they've been controlled and blackmailed and everything. And I think it's all going to come out. And I don't think they can stop it anymore.
Right.
And now they're just trying to do damage control. You know, it's already out and they're trying to do damage control, but it's just going to escalate. You know?
Yeah, I mean, so and it looks like, I think one or two things that happened. One, they already got everything that they need, and it's like they just threw her in this prison cell, and now she's like freaking out because it's like she could die, right? And her trial's not for another year. And this is
Yeah.
what happened with Epstein, right? It's like the trial's not for a year. He dies in prison. It's like, oh, he's dead. We can just move on with everything. And then the FBI raided the island right away. Otherwise, he would have to wait a year.
Yeah.
And I think that Maxwell could be freaking out about this. And so I
Well, they
think,
could fake her death and then
or there
and then
could,
go get all the evidence, you know, and then bring it out and say, we don't need a trial. We'll just, we
It's-
got everything.
so I think there could be possibly three different solutions or
Yeah.
situations. One could be like, we're going to throw her in prison to the dogs, basically.
Uh-huh.
Get her so scared that she'll just be like, okay, I'll tell you whatever, you know, I just don't want to be here because everyone wants, I mean, she
Yeah.
like everybody, every single elite probably wants her dead right now.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, you know, she could have even had Epstein killed. It's something we didn't even think
Yeah,
about, you know?
true.
So it's like, who knows? So here she is, you know, and the other side of things, like you said, they could fake her death, or, you know, or this could be a big show and they just have her somewhere and, you know,
Yeah.
who knows? But
My
she's definitely
my
the
gut
key.
feeling is they have everything.
I think so.
They have everything, and this is a show for the people
Mhm.
to kind of. It's like the frog in the pot, you know. They have to give them a little bit at a time, where they just go nuts, you know. So they're, and this is just a show so they can release everything they have.
You know, it's interesting. You said we were talking about the puppet aspect, and she was like the puppet master. We're finding out
Yeah.
Epstein was just a puppet. Did you hear what's coming out with all the stuff on Pinocchio?
Yeah, I
Dude,
did.
Geppetto.
So
What
Yeah.
the heck,
So-
man?
Becky Lou, who's one of our mods, she's gonna be here. She figured out, like, when you look at Geppetto, right? That's the guy's name, Joe Petto,
Yeah,
Geppetto.
yeah,
And then in the book, it talks about how they want to steal Pinocchio. Like, this old man's talking about this plot to kidnap Pinocchio and take him to Pleasure Island.
yeah.
Oh
yeah,
my
yeah.
And then he
God.
says something about, Derek can pull this up as I'm talking about it if he can find it. And then it talks about how something like, if they return as older as men, then it's like changing them or something like that, you know?
Yeah.
And Q reference, there's a lot more in Pinocchio that we haven't
And nobody
found
leaves
yet.
the island.
Nobody-
there's-
yeah.
Yeah, they keep having all these references, like nobody leaves the island alive, or they have it's just like unbelievable.
But the Geppetto thing blew my mind.
Well, yeah,
Completely
as a
blew my
kid,
Well, and okay, and if you
that creeped me out.
if he
when I
tells a
saw that.
lie, his nose grows.
Right.
That could
Yeah.
have been like threats to the children, right? That like they're gonna get. I don't know. Like there's a lot to that.
There's
I
just
mean,
a lot going on. Yeah, and it's, you know,
the lie is the truth in this case, and they're gonna get, like it could be sexually harassed or molested or something if they.
I guarantee you there's more in the movie.
Well, I
that we
remember
haven't seen.
when I was a kid, I was ultra sensitive and I watched that movie, or what you call it, cartoon or
Yeah.
something, right?
The animation.
Animation, yeah, and
Oh,
it
that's
creeped me
cool.
out. It totally creeped me out.
Oh,
It's
Derek
like-
found more stuff. Derek, you want to play some of this? Oh, they're not videos.
Yeah,
They're
it's
stills.
just stills.
Okay, sorry. I thought they were videos. Like, we're on a little delay, guys, so we're doing the best we can with this. But actually, this has gone really smooth. Thanks to Robert on your team for
Yeah.
helping us out with this. So, Robert,
Jason, the
you're
company.
awesome.
Yeah, we should probably wrap this up kind of soon.
Yeah, so it's been an hour and 15 minutes. So I thought we would go for
Sure.
an hour and a half. And then
Sure, yeah.
we'll kind of wrap it up there. And if you guys have any questions in the chat or out there in the audience, you guys hear about Ghislaine Maxwell owning and operating some company that has license?
Yes, actually.
What?
So
Yeah.
he just asked if we had heard about.
I was going to give you the
yeah,
mic.
yeah, we're good.
Go ahead.
So he just asked if we had heard about Ghislaine Maxwell owning and operating her own submarine company, basically. So yeah, actually, and she was actually very tied into a lot of stuff going on with the ocean and oceanography and stuff like that. And even in her speeches, what I researched is she was even noting the work of Cameron and him going into the Marianas Trench with the submarine. And there was a submarine port apparently at Epstein Island, which I believe that they were using to traffic and bring children into Epstein Island. So this actually, like, why would a woman like Ghislaine Maxwell be operating submarines? Like, none of that makes any sense unless there was something like, very nefarious going on with how they were transporting and exporting children from this island, right?
Yeah, I heard there are more than children they're
Yeah.
transporting. So
What,
that's
what else do you, I mean, besides drugs,
could
obviously.
be organs and drugs and everything
organs,
else. So I'm not sure, but that's the rumor going out. So who knows? We'll see. I mean, it's all going to come out.
It will. For sure.
Yeah, go ahead, Ben. Any other questions there?
So Derek's pulling up a map right now.
Oh, okay.
With the submarine, and he's showing it right now. What's happening, but it's kind of small on our screen. You guys can't really see. Derek, you can turn on your mic and explain what's going on here. Okay, he said that's okay. So
Yeah.
let me see. Sorry, I should have been looking.
And
at
we can
questions.
talk a little bit about the different groups that are coming in right now, because
Sure.
there's
go
a lot
ahead.
of misunderstanding about
Oh, yeah.
who's who and
Go
what's
ahead.
coming in. But there's a lot of the beings coming in are Pleiadians. Everybody knows about them. The Cherokee Nation talk all about Pleiadians, the other nations as well. They're our ancestors and they're returning, and it's us. It's our ancestors returning. and they didn't have to start over as primitives because of, you know, global catastrophes like pole shifts and comets and you know, huge volcanic eruptions. So they're coming in, they're returning. The original Anunnaki that were here a long time ago, they're ancient Lyrians, they're returning. And they're not the fallen Anunnaki, they're the benevolent ones.
I see.
And they've got the lion beings that are replete throughout Indian culture, Hindu culture, Buddhism, everything else. Everybody knows about them. They're returning. Sekhmet, Narisha, all these Narshringa, there's humanoid cat beings and stuff. They're all returning. And they're finding these in the Antarctic right now. They're finding their bodies that got flash frozen. So they're returning. The Orion Council of Light that went through the Orion Wars are coming in now, and they really understand planetary liberation because they had to liberate their own planets from the reptilian war, things like that. And that, you know, you've got Arcturians and Andromedans, they're mythologically known as archangels. They have magnetized light bodies, very tall, 8 to 10 foot tall beings. And so it's so massive what's happening right now. They're all coming in, and there's 13th dimensional consciousness and energy coming in right now, coming down through all the dimensions, coming into the earth, and we're part of that. And a lot of people have had lives in these other places, and I see that all the time. A lot of people have this great fear of some unseen force coming in and destroying the earth because they went through that, and they need to heal and clear that so the good knowledge can come from that lifetime. It comes up so many times in the transpersonal recessions or the counseling. And what we're seeing over and over is that there are so many people that are 5th dimensional Palladian, Syrian, 6th dimensional Orion in other lifetimes, and Andromeda and things like that. And they're here now, they've incarnated now as part of this, you know, shift. And so there's a huge awakening going on and an initiation going on, and they're being initiated through their dreams and their meditations, everything. And just really watch your dreams right now. Meditate, take your shoes off, you know, walk on the earth, get grounded, reset your body to the earth frequencies, and just pay attention because there's a lot more going on than anybody's going to let you know.
That's for sure.
Other than your show here.
Well, yeah, and I mean, so many people have been contacting me and telling me the same thing. And I myself, you know, it's like almost now every other time I'm meditating, there's something that it's helping me see to correlate to what's happening in the world, you know.
Well, you had a little visitation by the lion beings there in Australia.
Yeah, it sure did. Sure did.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting for something to happen here. So
Yeah.
I'm sure it will. As you know, we just got here. So
Yeah, I'm sure you'll have some visits.
yeah, all of us.
And if
really.
not from a lion being, from James. It's basically
Yeah.
the same thing.
Yeah, I usually come into people's subconscious and I tell bad jokes. And
So
keep
you
them
guys,
awake all night.
I was trying to read the comments, but my phone, both our phones stopped the comments. So Derek, if you let me know if there's any questions that come up, Derek, in the next, you know, few minutes. But also, so one of the things that hopefully we can try to do is do something that look for Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're while we're here, you guys, Ben and I are gonna be shooting a bunch
There you go.
and trying to get different kinds of footage at ECETI. So we'll definitely be publishing that at some point in the near future. We may go live a couple of extra times spontaneously if we feel like it. So keep an eye out over the next couple of weeks while we're here.
And we'll go live on Friday.
Yeah,
but
on
we're
our
just
normal
not-
times, well, as normal as
as
possible.
normal as possible.
Yeah.
We'll keep you guys updated on that. And like Rob said, we were planning to do a spontaneous live. So you guys are going to do a live stream tonight.
Yeah.
We'll jump in front of the camera here and there. And say
Yeah,
hi.
that would be great.
So,
Well, you know, and on Friday, if we go live 9 p.m., what are we, 3 hours behind, right?
Mhm.
So it would be cool to go live late one of the times so that we could do the stargazing with everyone, but it'd
Yeah.
be super late on the East Coast.
well, it would also be kind of dark. So we
Yeah.
got
Well, you know, we could
we have
do this
lights.
pre-record it and then
Yeah.
show it later.
True. That's what we'll have to do. It's
Yeah.
gonna have to be.
Derek, any questions you're seeing? What is Dogman? Someone is asking.
Well,
that's
It's something you don't want to know.
Well, no, but
you
actually,
don't
this,
want to run into
this
it.
is,
Let's
but
put it
this is,
that way.
yeah, it's true. But this is a much more involved question, because when you ask what Dogman is, you have to start bringing up all of the different types of shapeshifters that are out there. Dogman could either be a result of military testing, which there have been some theories about, or we're talking about a high concentration of spiritual infiltration where someone actually can transform into something that is otherworldly and
Skinwalker.
yeah, Skinwalker essentially, which have been for thousands of years in Native American culture, in Chinese culture, in cultures in the West. And there's werewolves in Europe. I mean, you know, this has been going on for a long time. I mean, it's not that hard of a stretch where if one exists, then could there be others? I mean, the answer is yes.
Yeah, I haven't seen Dogman here, but I've had so
They're
many
negative.
encounters.
Yeah, they would not be able to
I've
take
had-
this
You wouldn't
place.
want them here.
Yeah,
They
I've
couldn't even
seen.
be
Well, I'm
here.
sure the Bigfoot takes care of business. But I was saying we have whole families of Bigfoot come through here, and it's so well documented. But I really don't go there too much because I really respect them and their privacy. And I think that's really important. And I don't go into their I know where they live and where they are, and I don't go into their territory. If I do go in there, I go in very appreciative, very with gratitude. I bring gifts, and I have no expectations, and I drop the gifts off, and you do that. If you go in with that knowledge and don't take guns with you and things like that, eventually, you know, go out there and play a flute and send them love, and you'll start having an experience. But you're not going to find one. The Native Americans have a saying: if you go searching for Bigfoot, you'll never find it. But if Bigfoot wants to, he'll find you. You know, so or she'll find you. There's she's. But it is important. The consciousness that you go out with is what you're going to experience.
Okay. Okay, so we got a really good question actually. Someone is asking about what's really going on with the mountain and also with Guanyin.
Oh yeah. Wow. Yeah, we've had her appear here several times and got some great photographs of a lot of beings.
Actually, it's over there on the
Yeah,
wall.
it's on the wall. Yeah, where she actually physically appeared. I mean, you can see her whole physical expression, and usually she appears as a light, and that's been going on here. All the masters are appearing here, every color, every shape, every race, everything. They're coming here because we're totally aligned with unity consciousness, and that's what they're looking for. As far as the mountain, there's multiple levels going on inside the mountain. John Vivaco's team have remote viewed that. There's one level where you have a lot of the inner earth beings that are mythologically talked about in ancient times. There's one level where there's just technology, like mind-blowing technology and grid acceleration, grid maintaining technology that's pulsing. And we filmed that. We have film of that happening. You know, you can film with PIP technology. And then the other level is like a galactic airport, basically. So there's multiple levels and multiple dimensions going on there.
And then on like a different level from what I was seeing related to Guanyin is that this is like a heavenly paradise and like a higher, like a very high realm.
Yeah, you saw that they opened a window
Yeah,
for you
there
so
was
you
this
could see
rainbow.
what's happening in
Yeah,
the next dimension.
Crazy. It
Yeah.
was crazy. And it really showed me how, you know, if a divine being is using this as their own, then you know, and even if it's in a higher dimension, then it radiates that energy in all levels.
It's a very sacred place.
It
And
really
we need
is.
to treat it that way too.
Derek, you were saying something? Okay. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yeah. I think the key here too right now is just being kind to each other and being kind to the planet. That's the bottom line. And knowing everything's sacred. You know, the creator is within all creation. There's no division or separation, and help those less fortunate right now to bring them up, you know, and just put an end to this insanity, you know, this manufactured lack, all this stuff that's happening, you know, and all the social conditioning and you know, we need to see through all that and just not, you know, it takes two to play that game. If we just stop playing it and just say, okay, I'm turning off my TV, no more mainstream media, and I'm just going to focus on my own ascension process, and that's going to get us through. Because, you know, last weekend we had a bunch of kids here, and these kids are just all lit up, and there was every race represented. you know, here, and the kids are all playing and having a good time. There's no problem whatsoever. So what happened? It's called social engineering.
of
Is what
course.
happened. It's
That's
called colleges and high schools and all this crap they're doing to the kids. Leave them alone. Let them be kids. You know, let them have friends. You know, of every color. Let them work it out. You know, it's that's the answer. The children have the answer.
Yeah,
We just need to pay attention.
So we got a really good, not like any crazy metaphysical question, just a really real question. If someone wants to come to ECETI, what should they bring? So,
A chair.
and how should they be prepared?
Bring a Bigfoot T-shirt because I've seen about
Actually, that, yeah, you got it
400
awesome.
people with big shit.
Someone
big
sitting
Bigfoot
over here has got a
t-shirt.
shirt that says social distancing champion. And it's
Yeah,
Bigfoot.
it's
That's
got
awesome.
Bigfoot.
Yeah.
But yeah, what
Well, you
how-
know, basically, it depends on your needs. You know, we have rooms and that people can rent and cabins. If you want to camp, you know, it just depends on your needs. Just call, you know, just go to ECETI.org. You can call or email and talk to the people there and find out, you know, how you can come. And I said, the main thing you need to bring is an open mind, a loving heart, and pure intent. And you're going to have some amazing experiences.
and hiking boots, we
And
realized.
hiking boots.
And a jacket.
And probably right now a swimsuit, so you can jump in the river because it is hot.
It
today.
is hot today. That's
But it's
for
cooling
sure.
down. It'll be in the 70s. Yeah, it's real
Cool.
soon.
Awesome, James. Well, where can they find you? You know, I mean, what you do.
Yeah, everything is on the. It's on. If you go to ECETI.org or go to ECETI Stargate, the official channel on YouTube. That's our shows. BBS Radio, As You Wish Talk Radio.
As You Wish Talk Radio.
Yeah, and that's gone crazy. That's got like 90 affiliates in
Wow.
50 countries right now. So that's really taken off. So, and you know what's funny? This is really funny. It's kind of a weird note to end on, but the two most searched things on the search engines, believe it or not, are UFOs right now and porn. You know, and I don't want to be in that category, but really, you really think people want to know?
They do. I mean,
People want to know what's going on.
this is probably, I mean, no matter what people believe in, you know, people are now seeing things in the sky. I mean, we just talked to a police officer who wanted to come to ECETI because he's seeing things in the sky,
Yeah.
you know, and he's really into that. And we're finding there's a lot of people that just don't talk about this openly.
The silent majority.
Yeah,
on
but
UFOs.
everybody's fascinated by UFOs because they're seeing things on TV now. They're seeing things on
Yeah.
their own, and they're like, you know, well, okay, what the
I
heck
can't,
is going on?
I
you
can't
know?
explain this. What is
Yeah.
the answer?
And
Well,
then
in Texas, 99. They did a poll in Texas, a major news group did a poll. 99% of the people believe UFOs are real and that there's a cover up. So I mean,
exactly.
it's over. If 99% of the
Yeah,
people.
true that.
So why are we still trying to cover this up or make fun of people that are having experiences? The majority is with you.
Well, and there's been a lot of celebrities coming out lately who've said they've had some kind of alien contact, you know, years ago or whatever. But there's been more of them coming out forward.
Yeah,
We
Dan
just
Aykroyd's
Dan
come
Aykroyd,
out. And
yeah.
he used, when Dan Aykroyd would come into town, he'd call me and I'd go have dinner with him.
No way,
And his-
really?
yeah, and his train, you know, really nice, beautiful guy, nice guy. I love hanging out. It's pretty funny.
That's
But
awesome.
yeah, so I mean, there's so many people have come here, and I don't like name dropping. You know, I
Yeah.
don't really care about that. But we have a lot of very famous people coming here and having their own experience and just having their minds blown. So
Yeah, man.
Awesome.
like you guys,
Like us. Yeah. We
Yeah,
can't
there
wait.
you go.
We're here for a while. So
and Rachel Ferris in the
Rachel
audience,
Ferris
right
is in
there.
the audience. We'll talk to you this week. So we'll do something.
Yeah, and we got, I mean, for all of you at home, if you want to take part in ECETI, don't forget to go to ECETI.org and get tickets for that live stream. I think there's, like, don't miss it. There's going to be so many different people presenting. We had so much extra content from our possession series that we've been working on that we're going to do a crazy presentation on possession here that you're not going to want to miss. This is how we avoid spiritual infiltration. So definitely check that out.
And also, we were on James's show on YouTube last Saturday. It was published, so you guys can check that out if you haven't. With Rob and I,
Yeah, you can go to ECETI Stargate or bbsradio.com and the show's there. On Stargate, we have the video.
Oh, you have the video. Okay.
Yeah, and BBS is just the
And
audio.
it's on YouTube too, right?
Yeah,
So
it's on
you can watch it
YouTube.
on YouTube as well.
Definitely.
Awesome, James. This is really great.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I
you
can't
guys.
see
The
the
chat
end.
stopped working, so I can't see what everyone's commenting on. So, but
Anyway,
anyway,
guys, look for the notifications if they're coming to you on our channel so that you can keep up with what we're doing while we're here. And
don't forget to hit like and subscribe.
yeah,
And yeah,
I
and
guess-
thank you guys for supporting us and everything else. And thank you for inviting us here.
yeah, thanks
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot, James.
Always love having you guys here.
Yeah. All right.
All right, you guys, until next time, we'll see you out
That's you, James.
I wonder.
on the edge.
On the edge.
There we go.
We'll
We
see
can
you
finish
guys
now.
On the edge.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you, Wonder fans, for being wide awake and the greatest part of another Wondercast Live. And for those of you who want to go deeper still, be sure to subscribe to edgeofwonder.tv. Share, like, subscribe, and keep watch for the next notification so you don't miss a single Wondercast Live. With Edge of Wonder's Ben and Rob live from New York. On behalf of Ben, Rob, and the entire Edge of Wonder staff and crew, this is another Radio Face reminder that we'll see you out on the edge.
Edge of